Chosen one, there are people out there like you that have been granted spiritual powers and blessings, but they don't always end up following the right path. Not all spiritually gifted individuals have a light-filled path. Some embody traits that can be surprisingly dangerous. You must be aware of the type of chosen ones that can cause chaos. Chosen ones are often seen as individuals with a special purpose, destined to fulfill a unique mission. They are frequently portrayed as those who will bring positive change. However, the power and influence that come with being a chosen one can also lead to serious risks if misused or misunderstood. When a chosen one goes astray, their actions can have far-reaching consequences. Instead of fulfilling their mission in a way that benefits others, they might become consumed by their own desires or personal beliefs. This shift can turn their mission from something noble into something harmful. This can lead to widespread suffering, as their actions may no longer align with the well-being of those around them. Chosen ones often wield significant influence over others. People may follow them blindly, believing in their mission without question. This can be dangerous if the chosen one becomes misguided. It's important for you to be aware of those who are using their gifts for the wrong reason. A vengeful avenger is a type of chosen one who channels their mission into seeking revenge or justice, often believing that they are justified in doing so because of their perceived divine purpose. This type of chosen one sees their mission as a personal crusade, where their actions are driven by a desire to right wrongs they believe they or others have suffered. However, this sense of justice can become dangerously skewed when it turns into a fixation on retribution. The problem with a vengeful avenger lies in how they interpret their mission. Instead of focusing on the broader good or the original purpose of their calling, they narrow their focus to settling personal scores or punishing those they see as wrongdoers. They believe their actions are justified, often feeling morally superior because they see themselves as executing divine justice. This can lead them to take extreme measures, inflicting harm on others without considering the consequences. This fixation on revenge can quickly spiral out of control. The vengeful avenger may become obsessed with their quest for justice, allowing it to consume their thoughts and dictate their actions. This obsession can make them blind to the impact their actions have on others. They might justify harmful behaviors, believing that the ends always justify the means. As a result, they can cause significant harm not only to those they target, but also to innocent people who get caught in the crossfire. Over time, the actions of a vengeful avenger can create a cycle of violence and retribution. Their initial quest for justice can escalate into a series of destructive actions that affect entire communities. The vengeful avenger may become increasingly isolated as they push away those who disagree with their methods or question their judgment. This isolation can further reinforce their belief that they are the only one who truly understands the importance of their mission, leading them to double down on their harmful actions. There's a distinct and unsettling danger that arises when a chosen one becomes a nihilistic seer. Unlike other chosen ones who might find purpose or direction in their calling, the nihilistic seer is marked by a deep belief in the futility of existence. They view life as inherently meaningless, and this perspective profoundly shapes their actions and the way they influence others. A nihilistic seer may start with the ability to see the world in ways that others cannot, perceiving the deeper truths or flaws within society. However, instead of using this insight to inspire positive change, they interpret these revelations as evidence that life lacks purpose. This belief can lead them down a dark path where they justify destructive behaviors. If nothing matters, they may reason, then the consequences of their actions are irrelevant. This mindset is dangerous because it removes any sense of responsibility or moral obligation, paving the way for harm and chaos. The influence of a nihilistic seer is dangerous because they often attract followers who are disillusioned or searching for meaning. These followers may adopt the seer's nihilistic outlook, leading to a collective sense of despair and hopelessness. In extreme cases, the seer may encourage destructive actions, convincing their followers that it doesn't matter what they do, since everything is ultimately meaningless. This can result in a community or group that is not only detached from any sense of moral responsibility, but also willing to engage in harmful behaviors without concern for the consequences. In the realm of chosen ones, The obsessive perfectionist stands out as a figure driven by an intense need for flawless achievement. Unlike others who might accept imperfection as part of the journey, the obsessive perfectionist is consumed by the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. This relentless quest for perfection can lead them down a path of self-destruction and ultimately harm those around them. The obsessive perfectionist's drive for perfection goes beyond a healthy desire to improve. They set impossibly high standards for themselves, believing that anything less than perfect is a failure. This mindset can lead to constant dissatisfaction, as they are never able to meet the unrealistic expectations they set. The danger here is that this obsessive drive ignores the true goal of spiritual or personal growth, which is not meant to be forced or rushed. Growth is a gradual process that involves learning from mistakes, but the obsessive perfectionist sees mistakes as unacceptable. As the obsessive perfectionist becomes more consumed by their need for perfection, they may begin to push themselves to the brink. The constant pressure to be flawless can take a toll on their mental and physical health. They might overwork themselves, neglecting basic self-care in their pursuit of the ideal. This self-neglect can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and even serious health problems. Yet the obsessive perfectionist often refuses to slow down, driven by the belief that they must achieve perfection at all costs. The impact of the obsessive perfectionist isn't limited to themselves. Their relentless pursuit of perfection can also affect those around them. They may hold others to the same impossible standards, creating an environment of stress and anxiety. Those who work with or follow the obsessive perfectionist might feel overwhelmed by the constant pressure to meet these high expectations. This can lead to strained relationships, as others may struggle to keep up with the perfectionist's demands or feel unappreciated when their efforts are never deemed good enough. This type of chosen one believes they are the sole bearer of divine truth, viewing themselves as the ultimate moral authority. They are convinced that their perspective is not only correct, but also superior to that of others, which can lead them to justify harmful actions in the name of their perceived higher purpose. The self-righteous prophet's conviction in their own moral superiority is what sets them apart. They see themselves as the chosen voice of a higher power, believing that they have been entrusted with the ultimate truth. This belief can make them inflexible and intolerant of other viewpoints, as they are certain that their way is the only right way. Such rigidity can cause them to dismiss or even condemn those who do not share their beliefs, creating divisions and fostering an environment of judgment and exclusion. The danger of a self-righteous prophet lies in their ability to rationalize harmful actions. Because they see themselves as the embodiment of divine will, they may believe that any action they take is justified, regardless of the consequences. This can lead them to impose their beliefs on others, often in ways that are coercive or harmful. They might feel that they are doing what is necessary to uphold their truth, even if it means causing pain or suffering to others. In their eyes, the ends always justify the means, as long as those ends align with their perceived divine mission. In the spectrum of chosen ones, manipulators pose a unique threat. Unlike others who might be driven by misguided ideals or obsessive goals, manipulators wield their influence with a clear intent to control and exploit. These chosen ones are often charismatic, using their charm and persuasive abilities to bend others to their will. However, their motivations are far from noble. A manipulator's power lies in their ability to read people and situations. They understand what others want or fear, and use this knowledge to their advantage. Rather than guiding or inspiring, they manipulate, twisting situations to serve their own interests. This might involve playing on people's emotions, exploiting their weaknesses, or creating a sense of dependency. The manipulator's goal is to maintain control, ensuring that others remain under their influence. Because they are skilled at deception, those around them may not even realize they are being manipulated. This makes it difficult for their followers or associates to break free from their influence. The manipulator's actions can lead to a range of harmful outcomes, from financial exploitation to emotional or psychological harm. The more people they control, the greater the potential damage. What makes manipulators particularly dangerous is their lack of genuine concern for others. Their actions are driven by self-interest, with little regard for the well-being of those they manipulate. They may present themselves as benevolent or caring, But this facade is only a means to an end. Behind the scenes, they are focused on maintaining their power and achieving their personal goals, often at the expense of others. Unlike those who genuinely seek to help others, the exploitative healer uses their position of trust and authority to take advantage of vulnerable individuals. These chosen ones often present themselves as benevolent guides, offering healing or spiritual growth, but their true intentions are far more self-serving. Exploitative healers are skilled at identifying those who are in need of help, people who are searching for guidance, comfort, or relief from pain. They position themselves as the answer to these needs, promising solutions or miraculous outcomes. However, instead of providing genuine support, they exploit the trust placed in them. They may manipulate their clients' emotions, insecurities, or hopes, using these as leverage to gain something in return, whether it be money, control, or personal satisfaction. The danger of an exploitative healer lies in the deep trust that people often place in them. Those who seek out healers are usually in a vulnerable state, looking for someone to help them navigate difficult challenges. When this trust is abused, it can lead to severe emotional, psychological, or financial harm. The victims may not only lose the resources they invested, but also their sense of hope or belief in the possibility of healing, leaving them worse off than before. Moreover, the exploitative healer often hides behind a facade of compassion and concern, making it difficult for others to see their true nature. They may use persuasive language, spiritual jargon, or false empathy to convince their clients of their sincerity. This makes it challenging for individuals to recognize the manipulation and exploitation happening to them. By the time they realize what is happening, the damage may already be done. The actions of an exploitative healer can have far-reaching consequences beyond the immediate harm to their clients. These chosen ones can create a ripple effect of distrust in communities. When people discover the exploitative nature of the healer, it can lead to a broader loss of faith in legitimate healers and spiritual guides. This can make it harder for those in need to find the real support they seek, as they may become wary of reaching out to anyone who offers help. The zealous missionary is a chosen one, driven by an overwhelming passion to spread their beliefs, often with a single-minded determination that can cross boundaries and cause harm. Unlike others who might share their convictions with respect for different perspectives, the zealous missionary sees their mission as an absolute necessity, pushing their beliefs onto others with little regard for individual choice or consent. A key characteristic of the zealous missionary is their intense focus on conversion. They believe that their spiritual path is the only true way and that it is their duty to ensure that others follow it. This conviction can lead them to engage in aggressive proselytizing, often disregarding the personal beliefs and boundaries of those they are trying to convert. Their efforts are not just about sharing their faith, but about ensuring that others adopt it, regardless of whether those individuals are open or receptive. Their methods can range from persistent persuasion to coercion, and they may employ guilt, fear, or pressure to achieve their ends. This approach can alienate those they target, creating resentment or even fear among those who feel harassed or forced to conform. Instead of fostering understanding and mutual respect, the zealous missionary's actions often lead to division and conflict. When a chosen one becomes spiritually disconnected, it marks a significant shift from their intended path. Initially, chosen ones are often deeply connected to a higher purpose, driven by spiritual guidance or a profound sense of mission. However, some may gradually lose this connection, drifting away from the spiritual or divine source that once inspired them. The process of spiritual disconnection doesn't happen overnight. It usually begins with small compromises or doubts that grow over time. As these chosen ones stray further from their spiritual roots, they begin to lose sight of the values and principles that once guided their actions. Without this grounding, they may start to feel lost or uncertain about their purpose, leading to a sense of emptiness or confusion. The impact of this disconnection is significant. A chosen one who is spiritually disconnected may struggle to make decisions that align with their original mission. They might begin to act in ways that are out of character, driven more by personal desires or external influences than by their spiritual calling. This can lead to choices that are harmful or counterproductive, as they no longer have the clarity and guidance that their spiritual connection once provided. The lack of spiritual grounding can affect how these chosen ones interact with the world around them. This shift in focus can cause them to lose touch with the practical aspects of life, such as maintaining relationships, managing responsibilities, or contributing to their communities. As they become more disconnected from both their spirituality and the world around them, their actions may become increasingly erratic or misguided. When chosen ones act in harmful or misguided ways, their actions can tarnish the broader perception of spirituality and those involved in it. These individuals often become the face of spiritual movements or practices, and their negative behavior can create a lasting unfavorable impression on the public. The main issue is that the harmful actions of a few can overshadow the positive contributions of many. When chosen ones manipulate, exploit, or impose their beliefs aggressively, it leads to a general skepticism about spirituality. People may begin to question the integrity of all spiritual guides, even those who genuinely seek to help and uplift others. This can result in a broader mistrust of spiritual practices, making it harder for sincere individuals and groups to be taken seriously. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.